Hey guys, this is Carl from r/Roux cubing. So we've been getting a lot of questions about improvement and stuff like that, and so I don't have any screen recorders right now, so the filming setup I have is pretty jank. So bear with me. Well, let's see if I can pull up a resources thread, which will be in the description. That's not even the right thing. So, yeah, I want to do a example solve with the scramble, and because I'm not really doing much for editing, the scramble will be in the description. But anyhow, we've been getting a lot of questions, and let's just look here. Been getting a lot of questions about, so right here, posted by SD Erascal, talking about improving their first blocks. We have a lot of these questions and stuff like that. Now we do have a resources page, which there's the guide, which is going to be your best friend, and the block trainer, which is second place. Everything else on this guide is going to mostly be about see if I can get this in a good position. Gonna be about improvement for your later steps. But anyhow, let's get started on the scramble. Make sure you can see it okay. So, of course, green face, white top. And let's see what we can kind of find on this. So, when you start out, you want to give yourself an unlimited time to inspect. But when it comes to competitions, and if you want to practice for competitions, you're only going to get 15 seconds. But we're going to do unlimited time. And so we've got this white pair right here. We've got this white pair, or this orange and white pair, which means we'll just scan around, see everything. So we got this blue and orange here, and its match is there. So this is a pretty crappy situation to have them right here because they don't pair up easily. So what I'm going to do is look at other pieces. And I think we've got this blue down here with a white bottom. And we'll just stick to white bottoms for now. But improving into a dual color neutral state is not too hard. It just takes like a couple of days practice and then you catch on pretty immediate. But, so this blue we have here, we can slide that in like that. That's pretty simple, and that's only a one move insert for that. We have this situation here, which is a pretty easy insert, but that will affect this corner, which is our blue and orange corner. So here's these pairs, and here's these. So what I'm actually going to do is I would move this like that. And there might be another way to actually do this, but we'll just do it like that. And what this does is it sets it up like this, and we can insert these. So now we've got our 2x2. Now, this isn't ideal, but since I'm in such an awkward setup, what I'll do is I'll pair these up like this, which is a pretty bad situation, and we'll just pull it down and then do a wide turn instead of something like that. You see, that's one's a little more difficult, where one we can just, it's easier just to do a wide. And so we just insert that there. During that, we inserted our green DR edge, and during inspection, you really want to keep an eye out for your DR. If you can't plan that far ahead, that's fine. That's something you want to work on. But the goal for inspection, from if you're at 30 seconds or so, you want to be able to inspect your entire first block and be able to get this done. Or at least to an extent where you have a really good idea of where things are going to go. But I have these two here, this red and green here, and I have these two here. Now, the smart decision would be to work on this red and green. Now, for my recognition for this is that green on the side is opposite to this color. So that means what we can do is something like that, and that'll pair these up like that. And then you can just insert those like you normally would, like that. But then I'd immediately start working on this pair, which I would just do that, U2, M2, and then insert. We got an orientation skip, so we've got these pairs over here, but nothing else paired up, so it's just a T-perm. I use a T-perm, some people use J-perms. It just so happens that I learned with a T-perm. Now, there's no good EOLR for this, so what we can do is try to work with edge orientation. Oh, I made it even worse, huh? So here's our blue, and here's this. Now, I personally only know the edge cases, or the corner, what's it called? Arrow cases. And most of them, so this would be good. And if I had another one on top, for instance, something like that, that would be a good case, and we could set up REO. But we don't have that. We have green in the bottom, blue on the top. So it's just an arrow case. Just do it properly. But what that does is set up our right edge and our blue edge on the bottom. And so that's something you want to pay attention to. You want to insert those. And I don't know if I got a good shot of that. This one is a really good one for beginners. If you have the bar in the back and you put it on the bottom, instead of inserting this, kind of like take this out but keep it inserted, so it'll come up like this, like that, and then what that does is it inserts this but brings this edge all the way back here. So now we've solved that. Now the next step, the way I do my recognition for this is I look for the lone piece, which is here. And another way to look at it is you got 1, 2, 3 pieces, so it's either here or it's here. But this has a pair, so that means it has to be this one. But it's always adjacent to the line of 3 pieces. So now the cycle, I had a really hard time starting out with my 4C cycles, but this recognition has been flawless since I've figured it out. Just look at the color, and from here you can see that this is orange, so on the other side it's red. So that means this red isn't going to pair up with that one because we know there's a 2 over here. If we pair it up with that one, all it does is it replaces this red, right? So you're not making any improvement. So that means we have to work by the yellow. But that being said, if this made a red line, and I don't have an example of that, but if it made a red line, then that's the appropriate route. But it doesn't, so this needs to go to the yellow, which is on bottom. So just do an M move, or M prime, and you can see from here, it matches up. And so now that you've got this line, you know that you're doing things right, and then look at that. We got our cycle. So I think I'll end it here. I might try another video. We'll see what happens. But just really stick to the guide. The guide will be your best friend. I cannot enunciate that enough or whatever. It's just, it gives you what to work on when and what to how to work on it. So for instance, your first block, make sure it's 10 blocks or 10 moves. Mostly starting out, you want to try and push yourself to 15 moves. And as you get down and down, you're going to get lower and lower. And those better solves are the ones that have 3 or 4 moves. So some of my best solves have been around 15 to 14 seconds, and my first block was 3 moves. And then if you get lucky, and you get a 10 move second block, then right there, for your first 2 steps, you spent 13 moves. So of course that's all luck right there. But you don't know when you're lucky, so you really need to practice that. And so that's when Block Trainer comes into play. So guide and block trainer, you can start on the block trainer as soon as possible, or watch more example solves like this. And again, my camera setup is literally my phone on a shoebox, so this isn't a really good recording setup. I'm not sure how this video is going to turn out, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. If anything, I can try and improve and try it again. So if you got any critiques on my solver, on the video itself, please let me know. I'm very open to any critiques on any of this stuff. There's the only one way we can improve, and it's by helping each other. So happy cubing. Go practice that block trainer, and I'll see y'all next time.